We're at the stage where we're ready to tell his story. I've listened to your story. As I was listening to your story, I heard you talk a lot about fear, how what's going on just has you frightened. I told you my story, and my story I told you about an episode in my life when I too had fear, but Jesus took care of that fear. Now it's time to tell his story. In the last video, we looked at one way to do that by using uh, Paul's epistles. Another way to do that is by using a very simple story from the book of Mark, the story of Jairus's daughter. It occurs in Mark chapter 5, verse 21. Jesus got into the boat. He went back to the other side of the lake where a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. Then a leader of the local synagogue, whose name was Jairus, arrived. When he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet and pleading fervently with him, he said, "My little daughter is dying. Please come and lay your hands on her. Heal her so she can live." Jesus starts walking with Jairus to the man's house. Something occurs. A woman with another illness stops him, delays him, so that in verse 35, when they take up the journey again, while he was still speaking to her, messengers arrived from the house of Jairus, the leader of the synagogue. They told him, "Your daughter's dead. There's no use troubling the teacher anymore." But Jesus overheard them, and he said to Jairus, and here's the point, "Don't be afraid, just believe, just have faith." Then, to finish out the story, Jesus takes Jairus and his wife, Peter, James, and John. He goes into the room where the little girl is laying, reaches down, touches her hand, and says, "Little girl, wake up." And she does. The point is, Jesus says, don't be afraid. Just have faith. Just believe. Jesus wants to take care of our fear by giving us faith instead. At this point, ask them if they want to give their fear to Jesus. And if they say they do, lead them in a prayer in which they recognize the fear that they have. They ask Jesus to take that fear from them. They accept the power that Jesus wants to give them through his death on the cross. And then their commitment to live a life not subject to fear, but looking at the power that Jesus wants to give them. Over the next couple of days, make sure that you keep touch with them, call them daily to make sure they're living in power, to make sure that they are giving that fear over to the Lord and accepting the power that he wants to give them. These 6 videos communicate just different ways to lead people in understanding what Jesus has done for them on the cross. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday when we'll finish up our class on how to share your faith by putting it all together. See you on Sunday.